From full-scale cruise missile attacks to using their own technology against them. Here are the best ways to prepare for an alien invasion. But first, thanks J-Clan Creepers for leaving us this comment a while ago on one of our alien videos. One thing is clear, the universe is a vast mysterious place and it always seems like we're not alone. But the real question is, can you handle the truth? Number 10. Try to negotiate. We've learned how to deal with zombies in the past, and it's clear that there's at least one main difference here. Aliens will be much more technologically advanced, and if they made it to our planet, who knows what they're capable of. They clearly possess enough brain power to engineer technology that can travel from another galaxy, so chances are they can probably destroy our entire planet. Theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author Stephen Hawking, possibly the smartest living man on the planet, once said, "If aliens were able to visit us, it would be like Christopher Columbus landing on American soil." And we all know that didn't end too well for the Native Americans. Stephen Hawking also claims that we should really just mind our own business if we come into contact with alien life, since they would most likely be here to colonize and enslave us. Since their technology would be capable of taking over Earth, we should see if there's just something in particular they are looking for and try to remain in peace. They could be friendly aliens who would like to see Earth progress into an advanced society. But chances are they want to wipe out any trace of mankind off the face of the planet. Number 9. Get the heck out of town. The government most likely won't tell us right away when the alien invasion takes place, so you really need to be ready at all times. If aliens are coming, they can easily spot all the highly populated areas with their eyes in the skies. Although we've seen many cases of alien abductions taking place in rural areas, especially among the domesticated cow population, it's safe to assume the epicenter of destruction would most likely take place in major cities. It's clear that they will try to cause as much damage as possible, and if you can make an escape to an isolated area, you may be safe. For now, gather your supplies you've been stashing, lurk around in the shadows, and form a group of other humans who you closely trust. Now that planet Earth is under attack, all humans must unite for the sake of our own existence as a species. Number 8. Unite. All countries, creeds, religions, and former enemies must unite. Any minor disagreement you might have with an enemy in the past are completely pointless during this time, and the human race must unite or will be completely wiped out. Hopefully the aliens won't have the capability of shapeshifting, or uniting might be much more difficult. In any case, countries need to combine armies, arsenals, warships, and aircraft. In 1987, Ronald Reagan spoke, jokingly, about how the world would need to unite in the case of an alien invasion. This took place at a meeting with the UN. He claimed all countries would come together in the case of an unworldly threat. But was he really just joking? This should be taken seriously, and a plan with other governments seems to be crucial. Critics felt as though it was a fairly weird thing for him to say, but if you look at some of the experimental projects that took place under his administration, such as the Star Wars Defense Project, you would assume he was preparing quite well. We'll get to more on that one later. Number 7. Gather weapons. While preparing for the zombie apocalypse, you would typically tend to avoid loud weapons that would draw attention to oneself. But this is the alien apocalypse, and you want to get yourself the largest caliber equipment you can find. Aliens could typically be unaffected by smaller calibers, and the fewer the shots you need, the better. Larger calibers or high-powered rifles could possibly pierce through whatever armor they have. Consider some modifications or different types of ammunition, such as incendiary rounds, to light those aliens up. Some tend to believe that water might work, and it's really hard to say exactly what will be best against them. Aliens typically tend to be portrayed with no clothing, but during an invasion, you'd have to assume they'd be wearing some kind of armor or protective helmet to help them breathe. Another way you would consider trying to hold off the aliens would be to use biological weapons that humans are typically vaccinated for, such as smallpox or even polio, which would cripple them. 99% of people across the world have been vaccinated for these devastating viruses, but it's possibly something the aliens have never encountered. Just hopefully, they won't mutate into alien zombies. Number 6. Get your gas mask ready. If we're capable of doing it to aliens, possibly they could do it to us. We've seen how Christopher Columbus and Spanish conquistadors had a huge advantage when they brought all their deadly germs with them, and greatly weakened the Aztecs. We shouldn't be too surprised if something similar happens to us when aliens invade. In fact, one of the deadliest diseases that's plagued mankind, most commonly referred to as the flu, is believed to have come from outer space. Large portions of dust were deposited into the atmosphere from comets around the same time the flu began to pop up. The astronauts who visited the moon were actually kept in quarantine for a long period of time after their mission. It's certainly a safe bet that they're going to bring some type of alien virus with them that we've never seen before, so watch out. Number 5. Look out for signs of shapeshifting. If we're looking at a full-blown invasion from the reptilians, which might be taking place at this very moment, we have to take note of telltale signs on whether or not they're human. It may be impossible to spot one since they have the ability to shapeshift, and the hybrids look exactly like us. Many claim that slowing down footage of a reptilian can show some of their traits. Icke claims that changing their form could be as easy as changing television channels, and our brains are tricked into believing what we're seeing as a human. In any case, humans will need to come up with a way to identify themselves as humans, and we won't know how capable they will be in disguising themselves in order to work as spies. Number 4. Underground cities. Many have explored the possibility of underground cities to survive various apocalyptic scenarios. It could be a feasible option during some type of alien invasion, at least until the aliens have looted Earth for all of its resources. Located in eastern Turkey, an underground city dates back to the 5th century AD and is approximately 200 feet below ground. It's big enough to house 20,000 people, as well as livestock and food storage. It had everything a normal city would need, like wine, stables, cellars, and even chapels. If something like this could be built in the 5th century AD, why can't we make something much more advanced now? It's possible that humans may need to evolve into some type of mole person in order to survive, and just hope that the aliens don't find them there. Some believe that aliens still live underground on Mars once the apocalypse hit their planet. It might be time for us to do the same. Number 3. Steal their technology. Although you should be very careful approaching UFO crash sites, reverse engineering alien technologies will be needed in order to level out the playing field. Many believe that this is how we've become so technologically advanced within the past few decades, and there could be a whole variety of things we've never seen before if this day were to actually come. If all goes according to plan, humans could even come out more technologically advanced on many different levels after this whole thing is over. Body armor, flying technology, communication devices, lasers, and handheld weapons could all be extremely important tools for people to loot off any alien bodies they come across. Now could finally be your time to fly that flying saucer you've dreamt about, and the aliens won't even know you're not one of them. Even documents you might come across could give you clues on what language they're using. Coming across some of their advancements will be important for winning the war between the worlds. Number 2. Light up the skies. One of the advantages humans might have during an alien invasion is that we know where they're going to be coming from. The answer is simple. From above. Aliens will have no other choice but to fly into Earth from the planet they came from until they are able to establish a base. It is estimated that right now, there are at least 15,000 nuclear weapons which could all potentially be deployed in the case of an emergency. This missile we see here was spotted at the Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, and you have to wonder how much Cold War technology can be transformed into alien defense weapons. Before we consider sending plumes of radioactive fallout into our atmosphere, conventional missiles and rockets need to be deployed. Cruise missiles and anti-aircraft will need to light up the skies and hopefully take down some flying saucers with each launch. It's possible that their technology will be far too advanced for us to aim properly with, but with enough practice and possible advancements, we should be fairly successful with it. The modern-day Tomahawk missile can conduct precision strikes from 1,000 miles away and should be powerful enough to at least put a dent into whatever they got. If our resistance proves to be futile, the thermonuclear missiles we stocked up on over the years should come in handy. And number 1. Take out the mothership. You might have heard of motherships from sci-fi films, where flying saucers are transported by one ginormous ship known as the mothership. The US Air Force and NASA have actually considered something similar to this, and in the future, it's possible there could be things like this for us. But chances are that aliens will all come here by using one large ship to transport the alien invaders. This is a ship that humans need to be going after. It certainly won't be easy, and it will take much time and planning in order to execute this mission. If we can finally locate a direction in the sky where many of the aircraft seem to be coming from, just start firing some missiles in that direction, and that'll be a good start. The mothership is likely to be much bulkier and slower than the other aircraft, which should make it somewhat vulnerable to attack. Other ways to try to cripple the mothership would be to use computer hackers to try to disrupt their communication systems. Could the Reagan administration have actually completed the Star Wars technology? It was known as the Star Wars Project and included a nuclear laser beam put into space. Although he said it was built to keep nuclear missiles from striking Earth, could there have really been another enemy both the US and the Soviet Union were preparing for?